everybody. I haven't done a chisel case for my signature chisels yet. So I designed up a new design. It's sort of a pancake like a knife sheath. I'm using a totally pierced through magnetic snap. It's much nicer than the one I made years ago, and it sits up like that. So the pattern is going to be free from Buckle Guy in the description. And I'm going to use this new camo leather because it's really cool, and I'm happy that we can get it in the States now. So let's get into it. The pattern only has 3 pieces, and I'm actually going to cut this piece out first. This is the spacer piece that's going to go in between the outside and the inside piece, and what that's going to do is it's going to make it very easy for you to slide your chisel in and out. You're not going to have big bumps. I'm going to use like an 8-ounce piece of skirting. This is just scrap. You can also just double up on a 4-ounce piece of leather, cut 2 of them, glue them together, or glue them together first and then cut them out. As you can see, we have what will be our tool slots traced out and everything cut out around the border. All I'm going to do is take my 3/4 inch strap end punch, and this is what I'm going to use to cut our curves. Now you can cut this by hand, but if you have this tool, it makes it way easier. Nice thing is, you're never ever going to see this piece. We're going to bury it between 2 pieces of leather, so if your punches aren't straight, don't worry about it. Then all I'm going to do is just take my blade and cut just remotely straight. Doesn't need to be perfect. And we're going to have us a nice spacer piece for the middle of our tool pouch. For the small piece, which is the inside piece, it will separate the compartments. I'm going to make marks. One is going to be for my snap. One, I'm going to mark at the bottom and the top of the stitch line, so then I can connect those with a ruler. And I'm going to do that for the same on the other stitch line. Now I know that my stitch lines are going to be at a 90-degree angle to my piece, and then I'm just going to cut everything out. The glue up comes fairly early in this project, but we're going to have a lot to do once we're glued up. So I'm going to glue this in 2 separate stages. First stage, I'm going to glue the spacer to the outside piece with the flap. The way you do this, the way that I do it, is I'm going to take a pen and just trace, sort of, give myself a rough idea of where this is going to land. Remember, this is all going to be tucked into the case, so you're not going to see it. That. And then I'm not going to make any pen marks where the opening is going to be, because I really don't want you to be able to see it. But this will just give me like a rough idea of where I want my glue, so that when I go in here with my barge cement, I know where to glue and where to stay away from. And you don't have to do a full crazy glue job on this. We're going to have so many sandwich pieces together and a lot of stitching that just enough to really tack everything down is all you need. And this is where our tracing comes in handy, because these are like little fingers. So you could easily put these in crooked. Just go by your outline there and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to show you how I do this kind of work, because it's pretty simple, but we don't need to do any tracing on this piece. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a quick little bit of a glue line on each of these finger separators here. Before that dries, I'm going to set my piece down, press it. We're not going to leave it though. Now we're going to pull it off. That's going to show us where to glue on this piece so that the glue lines match up on that piece. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to start from the bottom and glue this down, moving up. Because if there's any overhang, I want it to happen on the inside. There we go. So I usually cut all of my corners before I place everything, but because this is a very thick piece, I'm going to use my Japanese flat knife and just take a little bit off at a time so that I get nice straight corners before I sand this down. Now it's time to make our stitch lines on the inside, and we have our marks here. So all we're going to do is connect them with a straight edge. I made a mark at the bottom of my stitch line, so I'm going to go all the way at the top to that mark. And that way both of my stitch lines, which will serve as interior dividers, will end at the same place. And then I just need to remember to, I'm going to do this at the end, put my snap right there. Believe it or not, we're ready to stitch. So I'm going to go into my first one that I made. I'm going to use just my 5mm for this. They're just tools. They don't need to be super fancy cases. First thing I'm going to do is punch my dividers here, making sure I punch equal numbers of holes in each side so that they're equal lengths. Then I'm going to go in with my dividers. I'm going to make my stitch line on the outside. And then all it's left to do is to punch this. And then we can sew all this up together, not in one stitch line, but just all in one sewing session. One little tip though, for these small corners, I don't like to use the 5mm spacing. I like to use a 3/8-5. It just handles the corner a little bit better. And you can't tell, it doesn't look any different. In my opinion, it looks nicer. I know that there's a bunch of different techniques to do quote-unquote proper corner stitching. I have no idea if that's a proper technique, but it's what I've been doing for 15 years. I use this burnt orange thread, which is a perfect match. It's not orange really at all. And now I'm going to punch the hole for the male part of our magnetic snap. So the pattern has the hole right there, and I'm just going to punch that out. Now you don't have to use a magnetic snap, but for this, I really like it. It adds a little bit of luxury and makes it super easy to use. I chose to go with this is an 18mm, and then I went with the antique brass. I think that's a nice mellow look with camo. And I think this is a good time to do our edge work. I'm going to start off by just giving these edges a light bevel. Now remember, I have sanded them down flush already. So I'm going to bevel this, and then we'll just go in with some Tokonol. This stuff burnishes up really nice since it's just a straight veg tan, even with all the dyeing to make the camo. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that before I add my closure tab. That's one last piece we have to do, only because I want the edge under the tab burnished. Now if you want, you can bevel all around. I'm just going to bevel where I have multiple layers here, and then I will burnish this with the Tokonol. It'll round over on its own. That's kind of how I do it, just for tools that I'm making for myself. Now that I have the body done, I need to place my snap tab. And to do that, what I'm going to do is put my chisel set into the case. I'm going to do that because the pattern doesn't have a set location for you to put the snap tab, because it's all going to depend on the thickness and the type of leather that you use. So we're gonna go like this. I'm gonna fold this down. Now the key is we don't want the tips of our chisels to be hitting the leather here. It'll eventually wear through. So I'm gonna back it off about 1/4 inch here and make a little bit of a fold, and we can see our fold is here, the tips of our tools are here. We should be good right there. Now I'm just going to set my tab down and make a light mark with my awl just at the top here. Then I can go in, I can use the center line on the pattern and make a nice little center mark here. And finally, I'm using the lines on the grid on my cutting board, but you can use your 2 lines here to place your tab and trace a nice simple outline. Now we know exactly where to glue this, and then we'll just stitch around the outside and be done. And we'll just go right in there and glue that down when it's dry. I'm going to use my 2-prong stitching chisel here, and I'm just going to make all of my marks first. Oh, this was supposed to be 5mm. It's 3.85, so we're going to have some smaller stitching on this curve. That's okay. Now once I have my marks, then I'm going to go in and just hammer them all the way through. If you're using a traditional French awl, then you would make the marks with your stitching chisels, and then you would punch through with your awl while you were in your stitching pony. That's not the technique I use, but it's how many, many leather goods are made. Just going to replace the bottom die. It all comes with this die set, if you do have a die press here. And we're going to set our other snap. There we go. And that's all that's left is to load up my chisels in here. This leather is really sick. I like it a lot. And this stuff, it ages really nice too. You wouldn't think so, but it looks really cool as it gets older. So it'll be a little bit tight, but with that spacer in there, shouldn't have much of an issue, which is why I put the spacer in the first place. Nice and sealed. And there we go. That's not a bad looking case right there. Our back, nice and simple. This will hold really strong with this snap going all the way through as well. And this is my 5mm case. In the smaller print, it's like more of a desert camo. So that's going to be it. Free pattern. These fit more than just my signature chisels. They'll fit Crimson's and all sorts of stuff. I don't know if they'll fit Cinnabrooks, but any of the flat chisels they'll fit. You can go grab the pattern in the description for free. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.